Live from KSAT 12. The 6 o'clock news starts right now.
Life and death choices are part of the job for San Antonio police officers, but it seems they've had to make that decision quite a bit lately.
In fact, they've pulled their weapons and fired 3 times in less than a week, shooting a total of 4 people. Katrina Weber shows us what they say led to each of those cases.
The sights form a familiar scene, yellow tape marking off areas where San Antonio police fired their weapons. Afterward came familiar sounds.
He pointed the weapon and he was shot by the officers. She turned, waving the gun. My understanding at this point is that she pointed it and he started digging in a bag or a backpack, which was in the car.
On 3 different occasions this week, officers said they had no choice but to shoot. First, they killed a wanted man last Saturday who they say told them he had a gun and would kill them, then appeared to be following through. 22-year-old Joseph Garcia was sitting in a car in a Broadway parking lot. Another person in the back seat was wounded. Thursday evening, officers wounded a 39-year-old woman reportedly walking near Babcock Road and Medical Drive with a gun. They say she also pointed it at them. A few hours later, a neighbor on Cantrell Street captured this scene after police killed a 34-year-old robbery suspect who they say also took aim at them. SAPD is investigating each case, but after one shooting Thursday, Chief William McManus mentioned a potential snag.
I understand that the body cam system was down for a while.
The Public Information Office here has since clarified that the problem is fixed and actually had to do with an online system for uploading the video from those body cameras. But we're told that the cameras themselves were working and should have captured the video that investigators will need. According to SAPD, this recent cluster of shootings by officers now brings the total to 18 so far this year. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
You both took a big part of my life away. You took my better half away.
Wow, you really feel her emotion in the courtroom today. That was Janie Nahira. She was facing the 2 people whose dogs attacked and killed her husband. Abilene Schneider and Christian Moreno were sentenced this afternoon. Judge Belia Mesa sentenced Schneider to 15 years in prison and Moreno to 18. So the case is now over. The couple's dogs in February of 2023 attacked the Nahiras as they were visiting a friend on Depla Street. Schneider and Moreno pleaded guilty to the charge of dangerous dog attack results in death. Janie Nahira today also told the court that the couple is not alone in the blame.
Right now, there's somebody that should be sitting right there next to you guys, and it should be the city. The city should be there sitting next to you guys because they are guilty too.
After the hearing, Ramon Nahira's son told KSAT 12 that the family was satisfied with the sentence and that they will continue with their federal lawsuit against the city.
A man is in custody tonight in connection to the murder of a UIW student. Selma police say 29-year-old Jacob Daniel Cerna was arrested for allegedly killing Joseph Banales in a suspected road rage incident. This happened in April of last year on I-35 in Selma near the Forum. The arrest affidavit in this case says that Cerna and his wife were interviewed as witnesses after the incident. Cerna was booked into the Bexar County Jail early this morning. He's now being charged with murder.
The San Antonio Philharmonic, which was born out of the ashes of the San Antonio Symphony, received funding from the city of San Antonio for the 2nd year in a row yesterday.
During that budget vote they had, but it came as news broke of a former board member now suing the nonprofit. Garrett Berger looks at what that means for its money.
The San Antonio Philharmonic came away from Thursday's budget vote with up to $111,000 from the city set aside for them, depending on what their next tax return looks like. It's less than $400,000 that the Philharmonic had asked for, and that some council members had wanted to give them. But it also came after the council learned the group was being sued.
We did get a copy of a lawsuit.
The details weren't discussed publicly, but it's for more than $180,000 over allegedly broken loan agreements, filed by the same former Philharmonic board member, David Wood, who had emailed the whole council a week earlier, urging them to suspend public funding for the Philharmonic. Wood wrote that he and his wife had spent nearly $250,000 supporting the organization, but a recent $45,000 loan was simply gone. And he accused executive director and former councilman Roberto Trevino of running the Philharmonic without any board oversight.
We spoke with Roberto Trevino in person today. He said David Wood was voted off of the board, and he largely denied the accusations.
All I can say is the allegations are completely false. They're inaccurate. And of course, as you mentioned, there's now a lawsuit involved. And so our attorney is aware of this and will respond appropriately.
Trevino says the Philharmonic is grateful for the city allocation.
Any contribution from the city is, as we see it, is also should be seen as an endorsement of what we're trying to do.
With the city's award, that brings funding from the city and county to almost $850,000 between this year and next. Though the city manager indicated it won't be automatic.
There's money allocated. We'll go through the process. It's incumbent upon them to submit the proper forms to us.
We asked the city and county if the lawsuit and allegations would affect actually doling out the cash. A city spokesman told us there's been no adjustments to the budget since it was passed on Thursday. Well, a county spokesman told us Bexar County is not a party to the lawsuit, so it would not be affected. Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
This weekend, hundreds of people are serving their community. And when we say serving, we mean quite literally serving pickleball style.
That's right. The Valero Alamo Bowl is teaming up with the San Antonio Pickleball Association this weekend to host the Communicare Classic. Our Avery Everett is live out there right now. And Avery, the round robin style play just started. Okay, but the purpose of this event, it's bigger than just pickleball, right?
Pickle for a purpose, ding for $1. If you need alliteration, I'm your girl. And if you need a pickleball partner, more importantly, I'm also your girl. Round Robin just started here at Fairchild Park. Take a look at all of these people playing out here. It is a pretty fun night already. And this is just the start to the weekend. There's play on Saturday, there's play on Sunday. More than 400 people are going to take over Fairchild Park and Dignity Hill on the east side for this tournament for a bigger purpose. All the students will be supported from San Antonio from scholarships. And this is all leading up to the Alamo Bowl game in December. Organizers say this is the big event, though, before the big game.
We love being a part of San Antonio's calendar, where you have rodeo season, you have fiesta season, and then bowl season and bowl week is something special. And San Antonio is such a town based on tourism, and we love welcoming people to town. So we like events we can also see our local residents and supporters too.
So even if you didn't sign up to play, you can still come out here and support the people who are playing. There's also going to be vendors if you want to get started on your pickleball journey. I've been told about this itch. I already have it, but maybe you want to get it started too when it comes to pickleball. Like I said, games on Saturday and Sunday. It's a whole weekend of fun, all for a good cause. But reporting live for now, I'm Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
All right, thanks, Avery. Get back to the court. She's
yes.
Itching to play all week.
How is she not even really sweaty, right?
I know.
She's pulling it off nicely. Good for her.
With all this humidity.
Yeah. Oh, you can't avoid it. It's very sticky and helping to kickstart a few showers. And I do want to point out, just like the past couple of days, isolated downpours on authority radar, highly isolated in nature. I'll loop this over the past hour. Not much to it. And what does pop up isn't going to last very long. We do have an outflow boundary, a big one that's stretching northward through the north side of San Antonio, and that's moving northward, could kick off another shower or two as it continues its trek. See this green line right here? That's the outflow boundary that's pushing northward, so we'll have to watch for potential development on the far north side here momentarily. That's something we'll watch. I don't think it's all that likely, and all the rainfall potential falls off by 8 o'clock once we get after sunset. 97 was our high again today. The average high now down to 89. We're not going to be near that anytime soon, but we will dip into the low 90s by early next week. Shouldn't be any issues with kickoff for football games. 90 degrees out, 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock. We're still at 84 and very humid. We're watching the tropics and potential development headed toward the Gulf in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Adam. Let's take a look at traffic out there right now. This is the TransGuide camera here at Highway 281 at St. Mary's. You are looking the southbound lanes going away from us, north coming towards. Good news, there's no major tie-ups to tell you about. Both directions moving along just fine.
He wants to be a cowboy. He tells me all the time. Each time he gets a new toy, well, he wants the cowboy kind.
A new episode of SA Vibes is out right now. This month's featured artist is Lacey Brinson. Brinson weaves together diverse musical influences from Western swing to rock, traditional country, and also bluegrass. So scan the QR code on your screen to hear more of her music. All episodes of SA Vibes are available right now on all of our digital platforms.
Did you know that the show 1923 was filming in San Antonio? That's the spin-off series from the hit show Yellowstone, and this is a look at the film location that they're using in downtown San Antonio. Now, you might not think of SA when it comes to things made for Hollywood, but turns out the Alamo City is full of filmmakers.
Instead of, see y'all later, San Antonio, I'm going to Hollywood and go work on movies and studios out there for Warner Brothers. Why not just bring it back here and be here with my family?
Coming up in a new KSAT Explains, we'll show you what happens when Hollywood comes calling on San Antonio and how the city tries to bring in productions to showcase the Alamo City on the silver screen. KSAT Explains is today at 6:30.
And just after the break, last year, more than 6,000 military veterans died by suicide. Up next, how an organization in Texas is making more people aware of the signs and also making a difference.
Let's take a look outside with live cam as we go to break here. Yes, we're going to talk about that weekend forecast, but there's also something happening in the tropics. Meteorologist Adam Caskey is keeping tabs on it. He'll let us know what he's seeing coming up.
Coming up tonight on the Night Beat, hundreds of homes in a Southwest Side neighborhood could be on the line with a potential drainage project. Neighbors are opposing the project, and they're taking a stand tonight as city leaders say that plans are going back to the drawing board.
Plus, more than a dozen neighborhoods have been identified as having issues with these cluster mailboxes. The problem now is the Postal Service says they're not responsible for repairs or maintenance, leaving those neighborhoods with the bill for these. Tonight on the Night Beat, how state leaders are calling on USPS to do more. Those stories and more are tonight at 10.
So this Sunday is Veteran Suicide Prevention Day. Last year, more than 6,000 veterans died by suicide across the country. Veterans are at 72% higher risk of suicide than those who haven't served.
Community organizations and nonprofits are dedicated to helping save lives by spreading awareness about how to step in to help veterans. Patty Santos spoke with the Texas Veterans Mental Health Department director on some ways that we can all become more aware of the signs.
There was a trend of that rate going down for a number of years, but unfortunately, this last report, the numbers are higher as we look back a couple of years where we were in the effects of isolation and COVID and folks not being able to connect and get to a lot of resources during that period.
Dr. Blake Harris says anyone can save lives by knowing how to connect people to resources and knowing the risk factors for suicide. The Texas Veterans Commission has a lot of resources that can help train agencies and companies on programs that assist veterans. But right now, if you know a veteran or service member who is struggling mentally, encourage them to call 988. That's the Suicide and Crisis Hotline.
The most important thing someone can do is if they are in a crisis or if they think someone else is in a crisis is ask. Ask how someone's doing. Ask if they're thinking about suicide. And if they are, say, okay, well, let's get you connected to services. Let's find someone.
There are a lot of organizations in the Alamo City dedicated to lifting up veterans. KSAT has covered so many of those stories of support. You can check them out on our website. Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
All right, let's talk about the weekend. It's almost here, and any changes in the weather. We kind of seem like we're stuck in this pattern this week that's rather sticky.
We need something.
We need a cold front, don't we? Right? We need a big shift in our pattern, and we're not going to have a big shift. We'll have a subtle shift and some changes, and we'll be watching the Western Caribbean, then the Gulf of Mexico for potential tropical activity. Let's get to authority radar because just like the past few days, we have a few little highly isolated pop-up showers out there. And those pop-up showers are just really not dropping a whole lot, but, you know, could give you a quick 1/10 of an inch or so if you're really lucky, if you're one of the lucky few to be within these. Now, yesterday from Windcrest to Kirby up toward Schertz, that was the sweet spot. This afternoon, not as much. Now, we did have some between 410 and 1604 on the far south side of Barrett County, and this outflow boundary, this green line that's headed northward, that could very well kickstart new showers, just like it did here in Leon Valley not that long ago. You'll see this in Leon Valley right there, right along Bandera Road. And again, this is highly isolated and brief, and come 7:30, 8 o'clock, all of this activity is going to be over with and out of here. You look off to the west, right near Hondo, one quick little shower. No lightning with these, so even if you do have a football field and you can see, nearby one of these downpours, or you can see the shower off in the distance, there's no lightning, so it's not going to cause any delays. Here are our main headlines. Heat, yes, we're still going to have it, but a little bit of relief. High temperatures going back down into the lower 90s by early next week. We'll take whatever we can get at this point. I know it's not significant, but it's something. And small rain chances next week as well. A 20% chance here and there next week. And for the tropics, we're watching the Gulf of Mexico for a system that could move in and then potentially impact somewhere along the Gulf Coast from Texas to Florida. We don't know where yet. So let's talk about it. We have the Big Blue H blocking any disturbances away from us. So for example, this upper level low near LA and San Diego, that's going to be deflected northward. We won't get any rain from that. But by early next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll have a weak wind shift line drop in, and we could have a few isolated showers at that point. But more importantly, the upper level heat high is going to push eastward, basically center itself over Florida. What that does with the clockwise circulation around it, it opens the door for energy or any disturbances to move in from the Caribbean, and we just so happen to have a little cluster of thunderstorms, an area of disturbed weather in the Caribbean. See it here just south of Jamaica. Now this area does have that potential and I think likelihood to turn into the next tropical system. We're not talking over the next couple of days, it's next several days. Over the next 5 or 4 to 7 days and beyond is when that could move into the Gulf of Mexico somewhere, potentially as a tropical depression, maybe even a tropical storm, could be a named storm. We don't know yet, but the solutions are very different as you'd expect this far out. Keep in mind, we're trying to predict something that hasn't even formed yet, which makes it that much more challenging. So just something to watch and something we'll, of course, keep you updated on. But there are very different solutions with what could happen. These are just 2 examples from some of the computer models. So they're all over the place as you'd expect this far out from a system like that. Going ahead into the weekend, we've got the autumnal equinox coming up at 7:44 a.m. on Sunday. We'll talk more about that and exactly what that is coming up at 6:45. But notice mid-90s this weekend, feeling like it's a little over 100. Lower 90s next week with those slight rain chances.
All right. Thank you, Adam.
All right. So it is Friday. Take us on the road, or a BGC road trip.
Yes. Always love the BGC road trip. And out in Tybee, where Nick Mantis is, there's a new motto circulating within the program. And Nick will introduce us to what that is when he previews the first game on our BGC road trip, plus Sunday's noon tilt between 2 undefeated teams in the Texans and Vikings features plenty of familiarity on both sides. Stay with us. It's that time of the week we take you on an adventure for our big game coverage road trip. Starting off in Kerrville, where the Tybee Antlers are coming off of a big bounce back win, 51-0 against Fredericksburg. Tonight the Antlers will look to defend their house against a speedy and talented Sam Houston team. Our Nick Mantis is in Kerrville awaiting the action. And Nick, you have word on a new tradition at Tybee.
Of Madison Central High School.
Yeah, Mary, what we all know about Kerrville Tybee is the Heisman history of the program. But what's interesting about this year's team is how their brotherhood is what keeps them stronger together. And that's only just going to get a little bit stronger tonight.
My past 3 years being on this team,
I think this is the first team that I've really seen that in. No matter what happens, like, we fight really hard, and that's what I like, and that's what I want to do for the team, and that's what I know the team does for me, and so that's what I love.
Coming off a shutout performance against Fredericksburg last week, Tivy is up early, sharpening its antlers to be ready for Sam Houston. And their strength this season is the unity of this squad.
Everybody out here has the Strength and Unity bracelet on. You know, if you wear it, you wear the Tivy on your chest, you're part of this program. You're part of, it's like a family. It's brought us together. I think this year compared to other years has just been the greatest it's ever been.
And for the first time ever, there's going to be a new pregame event.
It's going to be a special night for our dads. We're going to let them join us with our pregame and let them see what their sons go through every Friday. So I think it's going to be a great night for us. A lot of fun, a lot of family time.
The guys are going to be amped up. They've got their dads there. It's going to be a great atmosphere. It's going to be really fun.
I think it'll maybe be like an eye-opener, because they just kind of see everything outside, but there's so many things that goes on behind closed doors, like in that locker room and weight room and the pregame. And I think it's going to be really kind of cool and special for them to kind of see how this team's really like connected and united.
He actually made me join football. I didn't want to join football. I started back in middle school and I hated it, but here I am now. I love it, and I assume he's proud of me, but he likes going to the games, and I'm sure he'll be very happy to go to the dad event before the game.
It's going to be a special night here at Kerrville-Tivy. Well, let's look at the rest of the road trip stops tonight. From here, we're going to head over to Center Point, who's hosting Charlotte, and then finishing off in Bernie, who's got East Central coming to town. All highlights in a brand new edition of In the Nick of Time coming up tonight at the Night Beat. But for now, Mary, we'll send it back to you in the studio.
Thank you so much, Nick. All right, here's a look at the game headlining our BGC slate tonight. Steele and Austin Westlake is the matchup featured in our game of the week. We'll have the highlights and post-game of that one tonight on the Night Beat. Well, on Sunday, when the Texans visit the Vikings at US Bank Stadium, there will be many familiar faces on both sides of the football. Most notably, in free agency this past offseason, the two teams swapped edge rushers. Danielle Hunter has been a key part in the Texans' pass rush, which leads the NFL in single-game sacks. And former Texan Jonathan Greenard has been productive for Minnesota. Also excited to go up against his former team. Well aware of how talented Houston's offense is at the hands of his former teammate, C.J. Stroud.
A mature quarterback, I mean, can make literally every throw. Humble kid, that's like still my little brother. That's one of the guys that I'll be talking trash to. They're just like the inevitable. Like, he already talks trash as it is, but it's gonna be great just because like the relationship we all got. But yeah, it's gonna be a fight though. It ain't gonna be sweet. I mean, we understand what they have on that ball. Trust me, they are a top 5 team in this league, and we are well aware of that. But at the same time, they got to come over here and they still got to prove that.
And only one can come away 3-0 on the season, so it'll be a good one.
All right, we'll watch. Thank you.
We talked earlier about that Yellowstone spinoff filming here in San Antonio. You might not think of TV shows or movies when it comes to the Alamo City, but filmmaking is happening right here at home. How Hollywood makes connections with our local talent. KSAT Explains is coming up next.
You may have heard about 1923 filming in San Antonio this week. That's the spin-off series to the hit show Yellowstone, starring Kevin Costner.
Yeah, San Antonio may not be the city you think of when it comes to TV and movie production, but it's happening here. I met a filmmaker who ditched Hollywood for his South Texas roots, but still gets to chase that dream. Here's KSAT Explains. Danny Ramos has been working on big screen productions for 35 years.
Locations manager, I'm a production manager, I'm a producer, I'm a director here in San Antonio.
He studied the film industry at San Antonio College.
Working with John Avildsen in 8 Seconds with Luke Perry and Stephen Baldwin back in the 90s, that was my first gig. Started working on music videos, REM music video. We closed down the I-10.
He went to LA for a while, but there's no place like home.
I'm just trying to give back to my community. Instead of, see y'all later, San Antonio, I'm going to Hollywood and go work on movies and studios out there for Warner Brothers. why not just bring it back here and be here with my family?
Ramos and local filmmakers like him can do that right here in the Alamo City with the help of the San Antonio Film Commission.
And that's truly what they're here to do. They help local filmmakers find resources to make their films, find locations, and then they also actively recruit productions to come to San Antonio and film in San Antonio.
They act like a local hub for productions that want to film here. Producers may reach out to the Film Commission and say,
hey, we're looking for a downtown street that might look like 1923 Chicago. We're looking for a ranch. We're looking for something that looks like Graham Central Station. And we say, oh, here's our package of locations. Here's some images we have.
The commission keeps a production directory that showcases local spots that look good on camera,
which is open to anybody in San Antonio that owns property, even cars, to list their piece of property as a place for filming.
They also help coordinate logistics. Things like street closures and communication with businesses that might be impacted by a production. Plus, they help hook up local talent by working with people like Ramos.
It's jobs, just exactly what it is. There's a big opportunity for a lot of local freelancers out there that do either the camera work or assistant directors or makeup or hair, that they can work on these projects at the local.
We all know San Antonio is friendly, but Ramos says it's film friendly too.
To let every vendor know and the companies that work here, we're gonna film here, we're gonna invade your place, but we're gonna bring something beautiful to your place, something that we're all gonna be proud of.
There is an economic generator for businesses in that area because it's not just shut down and thank you so much for shutting down for us, but we're also going to pay you for the time that you've been shut down.
And here's another added benefit to shooting productions on city property. Permits are free.
In other cities, you might have to spend $250 a permit per location per day.
Even when shoots take place on private property, the Film Commission helps make those connections between locations, owners, and local talent, local dreamers like Ramos.
We're all going to benefit from this, and we get to survive and live here in San Antonio and still do the Hollywood thing and live that dream.
Still do the Hollywood thing right here in San Antonio. Danny was so proud of a production that he's been part of. It's called Say a Little Prayer, and it was shot entirely in San Antonio. Same producer who did the Selena movie.
Yes.
Back in the 90s, La Villita, where we shot that interview with Danny. It's heavily featured in that film. They're going to have a special screening of it October 15th, but then it debuts nationwide Thanksgiving weekend at select AMC theaters. It's all about St. Anthony, so it's very San Antonio. So hopefully people can go check that out.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's so much pride with it. There's so many beautiful places in our city, but you're right. There's also so much history in the city. So if you do want to shoot a movie that takes place or is supposed to take place centuries ago, you can do that here. Yeah, I'm all about it. I'm excited about this.
I think it's pretty fascinating. Scan the QR code here to check out all of our KSAT Explains, any story we've done. You can watch this one, any of them on demand. You can also find them on YouTube and the KSAT Plus app.
In other news now, the FBI is investigating after suspicious packages were sent to election officials in more than 20 states this week. It happened in the battleground states of Arizona, Georgia, and North Carolina. Some of those packages were received by election officials and others were intercepted along the way. Some of them claimed to be from a group called the United States Traitor Elimination Army. The FBI says that it's working to determine how many packages were sent, who put them in the mail, and also why. The threats come as election officials across the country are preparing for tomorrow's deadline to send the first ballots to overseas and military voters.
The House has passed a bill bolstering Secret Service protection for major presidential and vice presidential candidates. The vote was 405-0. This move comes after two apparent assassination attempts targeting former president and current candidate Donald Trump. Now that the bill has passed the House, it needs to be passed in the Senate before it could be signed into law.
New testimony in the Coast Guard's review of the Titan submersible disaster. That sub, if you remember, imploded on its way to the remains of the Titanic wreckage last year, killing 5 people.
And now there's some new information about who knew what and when. ABC's Jacqueline Lee reports from Los Angeles.
The fourth day of testimony today in the OceanGate Titan submersible investigation. The tiny sub imploded on its way to the Titanic shipwreck last year, killing all 5 people on board. Fred Hagen, who paid to volunteer and go on dives, detailing safety issues during past trips to the ocean floor, including a loud bang that occurred on a dive in July 2022.
Sonic events in a submersible are alarming.
And new details this week about mechanical issues with the submersible. The company's former scientific director testifying it malfunctioned days before its final dive.
The platform had a valve malfunction and the bow of the platform submerged, tilting the platform and the submersible to about a 45-degree angle.
During an emotional day of testimony on Thursday, OceanGate volunteer Renata Rojas said there was nothing unusual the day of the dive.
They were just very happy to go. And that's the memory I have. Nobody was really nervous. They were excited about what they're going to see, make sure you have your camera.
Investigators released underwater footage of the Titan on the ocean floor, with Rojas comparing it to the Apollo space program. She said she understood that the sub was not classified for deep sea dives.
With exploration, there's risk. And without taking that risk and the exploration, the world will still be flat.
Hearings are expected to continue through next week. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Coming up next, in-person early voting already underway for the presidential election. The latest on the race for the White House after the break. The 2024 presidential election heating up today with early in-person voting now in 3 states.
And this is as some Jewish organizations criticize former President Donald Trump after he said that if he loses in November, quote, the Jewish people would have a lot to do with it. ABC's Perry Russum is in Washington.
The first ballots are being cast in the 2024 presidential election. Early in-person voting happening now in Virginia, South Dakota, and Minnesota.
Being able to vote early helps me kind of push others to vote early as well.
As voters cast ballots, former President Trump facing criticism over comments he made about Jewish voters and Haitian migrants. Today, the American Jewish Committee pushing back on Trump after he said this last night about possibly losing in November.
So I'm not going to call this as a prediction, but in my opinion, the Jewish people would have a lot to do with a loss.
The AJC issuing a statement that reads in part, setting up anyone to say we lost because of the Jews is outrageous and dangerous.
Good morning, everyone.
On Capitol Hill, the Congressional Haitian Caucus condemning the misinformation about migrants in Springfield, Ohio, amplified by the Trump Vance ticket.
What Donald Trump is doing right now is playing a dangerous game of divide and conquer.
Trump with a rally tomorrow in North Carolina. Vice President Kamala Harris on the campaign trail today.
Georgia, this election right here is a fight for the future. It is a fight for the future. And it is a fight for freedom.
Today, a major last-minute rule change in Georgia. The Republican-led election board now requiring all ballots to be hand-counted. There are concerns the change could lead to a delay in certifying the results. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
Now back here in San Antonio, a nice shot there, live cam there in the distance. Look at that, 93 degrees. Yes, we've all been talking about the heat, but somewhere people are getting relief right now.
A little bit because of a few isolated showers. And one of them we can see in our other live cam. This is looking south, downtown, right there in the center part of the screen. And then a little bit of shower activity off in the distance. And that's what we're seeing on Authority radar. That is exactly this brief little shower that popped up. This is near Burbank High School and Harlandale High School, just between the two, around and east of I-35. And this isn't really moving much. It's on South Flora Street, but it just popped up. Very brief splash and dash. That's all these are. They do not last very long. Really quickly put it into motion. You'll see over the past hour how we've had a few, but not many, and they don't last very long. And come 7:30, 8 o'clock, all of these are done. Autumnal equinox, talking about that and watching the tropics in the Gulf in just a bit.
Okay, I guess depending on who you ask, it officially becomes fall this weekend, right, Adam?
You know my answer to that.
I know, because It depends on who you ask.
Yeah, it's already fall meteorologically speaking because that would be September, October, November. That is meteorological fall. And so, but yes, astronomical fall is coming up. So let's get right to it. We have the autumnal equinox, astronomical fall or autumn on the way. And, you know, we have our seasons because of the tilt of the Earth. It's tilted on its axis 23.5 degrees, and that gives us our seasons. And so by 7:44 a.m., we're at our equinox. The Earth's axis is tilted neither toward nor away from the sun. So we have nearly equal amounts of daylight and darkness at all latitudes. Equal nights is what that's like, is what that basically translates to. And you look at the different seasons, we've got our equinoxes and our solstices, and it's that tilt of the Earth and the Earth's elliptical orbit around the sun that gives us the varying seasons. And if the Earth was totally vertical, I've theorized this with other folks in the weather team. You know, what would our weather be like? It'd be so different. It'd be hard to tell. We'd have more of an equilibrium going on and we wouldn't have as much change. I don't know. Anyway, it's one of those things that I like to get into philosophically speaking. Oh, we could go on about this. Anyway, authority radar, a little bit of activity out there. See that shower we were talking about on the south side already starting to dissipate. Really nothing left of it there. High temperatures, we're going to trim back a little bit, lower 90s by next week. Still kind of summer-like though. Average high 89 degrees, and we have that high humidity to deal with. Today, 97, the high here in San Antonio. New Braunfels and Gonzales and Austin all hit triple digits. And you look at the big picture, 90 stretched all the way up into Omaha, 93 the high temperature. Chicago made it to 90 degrees, well above average temperatures. And that's because of the big ridge in the upper level flow from the heat high. The bump in the upper level flow, that ridge pulls that warm air northward and also pushes down a bit. And Las Vegas, 84 degrees. I've been pointing out Vegas for several days because they're running about 10 degrees below average. And they even have some rain activity in the vicinity of Vegas and even just east of the city with that trough, that dip in the flow. Here's what we're watching. This cluster of thunderstorms, very unorganized right now in the Caribbean. It's going to move westward toward the Yucatan Peninsula and then the Gulf of Mexico into next week. And it could really end up anywhere in the Gulf of Mexico next week. Keep in mind, we're trying to predict a system that hasn't even developed yet. It's not even an actual storm system yet. So we're trying to predict something that hasn't developed, but there is a potential it turns into a depression or a tropical storm. And then next week is somewhere in the Gulf of Mexico and really could be anywhere. Here are just two of the solutions that we have available. And notice how one's like central to eastern Gulf and the other is the far western Gulf. So very different. Mid 90s this weekend, feeling like it's anywhere from 100 to 105. And then next week, slight rain chances Monday through Wednesday, 10 to 20% chance.
Thanks, Adam.
And we're buzzing up next.
Beep.
The moon will soon be getting a temporary friend. According to a new study, a tiny asteroid is going to begin to orbit Earth starting September 29th and will essentially act as a mini moon. Researchers discovered the celestial object last month during routine monitoring, and it's been given the name 2024 PT5.
However, this will only be around until November 25th before it returns to an asteroid belt revolving around the sun. And you won't be able to see this with the naked eye. It can only be viewed with telescopes used by professional astronomers.
Although I'm sure Kasky has opinions on it.
Probably.
Yeah.
And a professional telescope, probably. Some of your favorite childhood toys likely among the 12 finalists for November's National Toy Hall of Fame induction. The finalists include Apples to Apples, balloons, Choose Your Own Adventure game books, Hess toy trucks, My Little Pony, and Phase 10. Also on the list, we've got Transformers. We also have Pokemon, trading card game, the remote controlled vehicles sequence, a stick horse, and and a trampoline.
Yeah, wonderful way to get hurt. Now, fans can cast their votes until September 25th as part of a Player's Choice ballot at toyhalloffame.org. The 3 toys with the most public votes will be added to the other top 3 submissions by the National Selection Advisory Committee, and then the winners are going to be on display at the Strong National Museum of Play in Rochester, New York.
I vote My Little Pony.
Yeah, I know. It makes me so happy. It's so 80s. It was such an 80s toy. Anyway, we'll be right back.
Here's the 30 radar, and a little bit of activity still left out there. The outflow boundary, that green line you see pushing northward, could still develop a rogue shower, but really all we have left is a little bit of action just outside of 1604 near Helotes and Alamo Ranch area. This is going to be very quick and short-lived. 7 o'clock kickoffs should be okay across our area. And then this, as we get into next week, slight rain chances, 20% chances early next week, early and middle of the week.
All right. Thanks, Adam. And thank you for watching the News at 6.
We'll be right back here for the Night Beat. Have a wonderful dinner. We'll see you then.